Hi everyone, what's on the screen right now is Unit 5. And as you can see in Unit 5, there's a variety of things that you cannot see right now as I'm recording it. There's something called presentation slides with audio. When I finish recording this, I'll post it and there will be a YouTube connection here and it will explain your project to you, which will be the video I'm talking about right now. And then under the presentations, you will you'll submit your presentation to the discussion board, but your scoring rubrics will go here. And I will have here, it will be the directions, the instructor scoring rubric, and the student scoring rubric. And of course, all of these dates will be changed to match what you're doing. Okay. So let's look at first the directions with the teacher scoring. So here are the directions. The directions are that this presentation that you do should be 8 to 10 minutes long. It must have audio and visual, and we'll talk about that a little bit more near the end. So you're going to have 8 to 10 minutes. You will have 10 or fewer slides, somewhere between 7 and 10 slides are typically what the presentation is. And if you have 10 slides, that means you have less than a minute really to talk on each slide. So this needs to be very succinct, but yet explain what you need to explain. So the first slide of your program, and this says one slide, and you should be able to do this with one slide. You might need two. You're going to introduce your program and yourself, which is the name of your program, what organization do you represent, what area of the grant are you doing, is it prevention, quality of life after treatment, or screening, and which of the type of cancers are you covering. In the very beginning of the semester, I think it was in assignment 1.2, it asked you specifically who can write this grant. You cannot write a grant as an individual. You must represent an organization. So go back into the grant or go back into your assignment 1.2 and review the types of organizations that can apply for the grant. And then choose one that best represents what your program is doing. And that's what will go there. The next thing you're going to do is tell us the goals of your grant. Everyone this semester has two goals. One about access to care, one about individual behavior. Then the next 1 to 2 slides will be data about your community and an explanation of why your community needs this program. Then you're going to tell us about your program, the key points of your program, and what model or theory supports your ideas. That will also be 1 to 2 slides, depending on how much you want to discuss. Then you will tell us anything unique or special about your program. That's 1 slide. And then you will summarize why your program should get the $1 million a year for 3 years. That's 1 slide. And if you wanted, you could have a summary slide of your entire presentation, and that would be 1 slide also. So those are the slides. These are guidelines for the slides. Slides should have no more than 20 words on them, and that's approximately. If you look at the slides I do for you, they do not have full sentences on them. They typically have keywords or phrases to help me remember what to say to you as I'm doing the lecture. You should follow that same guideline. Do not put full sentences on your slides, because if you do that, you will start reading to us, and that is not appropriate. Also, you should have note cards, and the note cards should also have keywords or phrases on them and not full sentences. If you put full sentences on your note cards, you will begin reading to us, and even though we will not see you, we will still be able to tell that you're reading. And then the final point I want to make is these presentations need to be good. They need to be representative of a junior level student in college, but they are not probably going to be perfect. And if you think about the presentations you do in class, they are rarely perfect. and therefore this may not be perfect. However, you need to make sure you do a good job. Is everything clear? Is your audio loud enough? Are there no background noises? So those are all key points. So my final word on this is, do not wait and do this at the last minute. Most people have to do this presentation more than once before they get it right. Sometimes even the software doesn't work. So for example, this is my second recording of this presentation because the first one shut down and did not go through. So please prepare to do your presentation 2 or 3 times before you get it to the point where it's appropriate and ready to submit. So here is the scoring rubric for the teacher. This is how I'm going to score your presentation. The first one is, did you follow directions? It's a yes or no, 2 points or 0 points. Then my score is your presentation thorough and accurate? I know more than other people in the class, more than your peers, as if you're giving us accurate information, and if it's thorough. I'll be looking for spelling and grammar. And then my final question is, does the program do what it should? Does it meet the goals of the grant? So that's 10, 15, 20 points is what you get from me. What I have on the screen now is the peer scoring of the grants. So you're going to be scoring each other. Each section of the grant, prevention, screening, and treatment, will have one sheet. So everybody who does screening will be on one sheet. Everyone who does prevention will be on one sheet. And everyone who does quality of life after treatment will be on one sheet. There's between 3 and 6 people in each group. So you'll write at the top of this, you'll write, is it prevention, screening, or quality of life after treatment? And then in this row here at the top, you will write each person's name that did that part of the grant. You will then score the students. The first one is, did they cover all the information that should be covered? That's a yes, most, or no. So here, you know what's supposed to be in the slides. You know what's supposed to be covered. So you're going to score them 2, 1, or 0. If you use a number not on this sheet, it automatically will score down. So if you give someone a 1.5, I will put it down to a 1. So keep that in mind. Use only the numbers on this sheet. The second area you're going to score the person on is, how likely is it that this person would receive the grant? Do not give everyone in the group the best score. So in reality, only one person in the group, only 1 or 2 people in each group should get a 5, 1 or 2 people should get a 4, 1 or 2 people should get a 3, and so on. If you give everyone 5s or everyone 5s and 4s in a group of 5 or 6 people, then you who filled out this form will lose points. I am forcing you to choose which is the best, next, etc. I want you to actually prioritize which grants are best to worst. At most, 2 people could have the same score. 2 people could have 5, 2 people could have 4, 2 people could have 3, and so on. But if you give everyone the same score, everyone has high scores, and then you will lose points. In a group of 3, you might only have 5s and 4s, but the other 2 groups have more than 3 people in them. You should have more than 5s and 4s. Then the last one is, you're going to look at the program and answer the question, does the program do what it should? Does it reach the goals of the grant? Yes, somewhat, and mostly not. And then I will add no. And that'll be a 0. Okay, so that's it. After you score everybody in the screening, or everybody in the prevention, or everybody in the treatment, the names of the people that go across the top here, At the bottom, you're going to give that person's name and write 1 to 2 sentences about what you liked best about the presentation or what you liked best about the program. So this is an example of what you might write. John is the name, and my comment is your description of how the model supported your program ideas made it seem like you would definitely be successful. Successful. So that's how that's going to work. Hopefully you'll watch this before you come to class, and then we can discuss it more when you're in class this week. Thanks a lot for listening, and I look forward to seeing you in class.